Hey everyone, what's going on? I am at my hive today. Got to check in and see how they're doing. So far, just by looking, it looks like they're doing pretty good. Bunch of bees whizzing past my head with pollen in their little satchels. We'll get an up close look at that in just a second, but let me show you a little bit about what I have going on, and then we'll jump in the hive. So it's important to have everything ready to go when you jump into a hive, because you don't want to leave it open for too long. You want to disturb the bees as little as possible. So what I have here are a couple of frames ready to go. I'm going to check their supply level in that sugar water bin that I have in there, that in-hive feeder. And if it's empty and it looks like there's a good food store, then I'm going to put those frames in the hive. I also might use my smoker, and luckily I got some junk mail at my parents' house that I can use to start a little fire. But I generally don't like to smoke the bees, and if I can get away with it, then I won't. But you don't know what kind of bees you're going to get each year. These should be pretty docile. We'll see. I can't say I shouldn't smoke them, but we'll see once I get in there to, if they start really pestering me and stuff. But yeah, if they are still taking sugar water, then of course I have all that set out, ready to go. And another characteristic that you want next to your hive is some water. So bees need to drink just like everybody else. And if you have water next to their hive, then they're not going to look for it elsewhere, like neighbors' pools. My parents' neighbors have a pool over there. The neighbors over there have a pool too. So it's important to keep water close by just to minimize the bees getting into their pools and stuff. They won't really harm anyone, but they just don't want dead bees in somebody's pool. So that's what we have going on. I am going to get suited up. I'm going to throw on my Osmo Action, and today we're just going to see how the overall hive is doing. Pull out each frame, inspect it, and look for larvae and possibly the queen. She is hard to spot. I only see her every once in a while, but if I do, I'll be sure to point it out. But yeah, let's get to that today. Let's check out what we have going on. All right. So got a couple tools here. This is the hive tool. This will help me pry out the frames and kind of dig through them a little bit. And then this is like a little extractor. I need to get a new one. The spring keeps coming undone. I'm not going to fidget with it too much today, but you just latch onto the top of a frame and you're able to pull it out. Let's talk about the smoking of the bees a little bit. A lot of people wonder what that's all about. If you've ever seen the bee movie, it's a little misrepresenting. First of all, it shows that the male bees are all the workers, which isn't true. It's female. And second of all, you use smoke to disorient the bees. Some people say it's to mimic a forest fire, and it preoccupies the bees with thinking that there's a forest fire coming, so they'll start collecting their food and get ready to move. But by the time you're done with inspecting, then you're not smoking anymore, the risk is gone, and then they go back to their normal lives. That's a theory, but I just think it kind of helps cover up the scent of the beekeeper and just disorients them a little bit in different ways. But if you have any other ideas, let me know, and we will investigate those about smoking of the bees. But those are the two things I've heard. Whoops, sorry about that. Anyway, I'm going to stop fidgeting with this thing. Let's get into the hive. All right, so you always approach the hive from the back here. If we do it in the front, then we're in their flight path. You can kind of see them coming and going right there, hopefully. I don't really know what to see, but yeah, let's let me adjust that a little bit. We'll open her up. We'll pop the inner cover here. Look at that, they're already starting to build some comb there. We have a pretty decent gap that we need to close up. And let's check their water. Seems pretty empty. I'll worry about that in a second. So I'm gonna take the frames out and put them in this box right here, just so I can inspect. So let's see what we can see without making them too upset. Not much going on this frame. Looks like they're filling it with pollen there. It's also important to remember what order you put the frames in those boxes, because it'd be like someone coming in and rearranging your house without you knowing. Putting it all back, so. Let's see that one. See if we can see any signs of eggs there. Nothing yet. Oh, no, I see some. No, that's just pollen. No. Oh, they've built an extra layer of comb. I got to get that off of there. They make that? Yeah. But I don't want it on there. It's because I gave them too much space. See how there's this extra layer of comb on there? It's because there's too much space between the frames. They don't like extra space. So I gotta figure out a way to get this off without hurting them. Shoot. I just hate destroying their hard work. Well, hopefully that doesn't disrupt them too much. So this is a good sign. See all that? Those little cap, that's called a capped cell. That means that there is brood in there. And I won't know how well you can see that until we watch this video, but that's your sign of the queen there. She's been busy. Just gonna see if I can see the queen right now. A few cap cells on that one. I haven't seen the queen though. Okay, I'm gonna put this back together. Just do it nice and slow so you're not squishing bees. I'm gonna see if I can squeeze one more frame in here. This one has some honey on it from last year that they'll appreciate. Let's see if I can squeeze this in. But I don't have enough room. We'll just leave it like that. Give them some food, and we'll be done. Just cleaning up this cover. If you don't clean it every time, it can give you trouble. The bees will build comb off of it. can take this wax and make all sorts of stuff with it. I've done chapstick. Wasn't the best chapstick, but it's good to save all this. Or you can give it to your local candle maker or soap maker. I don't know if you can make soap out of beeswax, but you can do all sorts of stuff with it. Let's button these ladies back up. So bad I spilled a bunch of water, but it looks like the bees are drinking it, so that's good. You won't even know I'm here. I just don't like to squish them. Go away. Put this back on. It's all honeycomb, or comb. Tighten things up a little in there, so hopefully this doesn't happen again. This is a ton of hard work that just goes to waste. All because my frames are too far apart, so that's something that you have to keep in mind. Anyway, can't even tell I was in there. Looks like I have to straighten out the lid. I didn't get those frames on, but that's okay. I'll give them one more week of feeding. Should have been a little bit more careful with that comb that I pulled off of there. Do you see those little grains of rice in each one of these cells? That's actually a bee egg. It was good that I removed the wax, but I didn't look for the queen as well as I should have. So hopefully she's still in there. She should be, but now you guys know what a bee egg looks like. Alright, so I jumped in the hive and inspected it a little bit. Definitely saw signs of a queen because of those capped cells. That means that an egg has been laid and then it has turned into brood, and then they cap it, and when it gets uncapped, a new bee emerges. So that means the queen has been fertilized and it's an established hive. I didn't love dumping all that water all over. That's not a good thing. Luckily it'll be warm enough. Moisture is an enemy to beehives, but it should be warm enough that that extra water in there shouldn't help or shouldn't hurt them. I don't know if you saw it spilling over the side, but anyway, yeah, it's looking pretty good. So I will come back in a week. I think that's the last time I'll feed them with sugar water, because it looks like they are doing pretty good. This will be the second box that I add, and it will have 8 frames in it. I've been asked when you add that second box, and when you have 8 frames, when the 6 middle frames are full of brood and honey and pollen, then that gives you a good indication that they're ready to expand. It's like putting an addition on your house. So that one is nowhere near adding a second box. So when it is, I'll add it. In Utah, you want to do 3 boxes. So 2 boxes are going to be the brood, and by box I mean this. 2 will be like brood and food, and then the top one will be the honey that you can harvest. And then when it comes time to harvesting, you take that honey from the top and leave the rest for the winter and, you know, some supplemental feeding, since you're the one robbing all their food. Anyway, that's it for me today in the hive. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. I'm not the best bee expert, but hopefully I can give you some knowledge, especially if you're interested in beekeeping. Anyway, hope you have a great day. If you want more content, don't forget to subscribe. If you like this video, smash it, and have a good one. Peace.